Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to complete the topic number system. There are only two subtopics left, prime number and HCF LCM, which we are going to complete in this video. So looking at the question distribution from 2020 and 2019, you can see there are total of 5 questions from these topics. Plus there is one extra question which was given in the form of that statement and conclusion form. I hope you remember it from the last video. We have done few statement conclusion questions as well. So that makes it 5 plus 1 extra question of total of 6 question. These 6 questions we are going to cover in the next video from these topics. Now starting with the theory. What exactly is a prime number? See, a prime number is a number which can only be divided by 1 and itself and nothing else, right? Suppose I ask you, example, suppose I ask you, is 24 a prime number? Is 24 a prime number? I hope you remember from the last class we did the prime factorization of 24 and we found a number of factors for this. Number of factors, a lot of factors, and those factors were of this form: 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, 24. These were the factors for 24. So if you see, apart from 1 and itself, the 24 is divisible by a lot of other numbers: 2, 3, 4, 6, 8 and 12. So we can say 24 is not a prime number. I hope it is clear. And let's take another example. Example of 13. You can do the prime factorization and you will find that 13 is only divisible by 1 and 13 and nothing in between. So 13 is not divisible by 2, 3, 4 up to 12. It is only divisible by 1 and 13. Only these two numbers divide 13. So we can say 13 is a prime number. Right? Suppose another example. Example 18. Is 18 a prime number or not? How to know? We know 18 is divisible by 1, 2, 3, then 6, then 9, then 18. Right? So we have apart from 1 and 18, it is divisible by a lot of other numbers as well. So we'll say this is not a prime number. Right? So first thing, it is clear what is a prime number. This is a definition. Second thing, this part you have to know for the exam. You have to know all the prime numbers less than 100. This part is very important for the exam. They can ask you, suppose the question is given in the exam that S is a prime number which lies between 40 and 50. So to know what all prime numbers are there between 40 and 50, you should know all the prime numbers less than 100 by heart, right? So this is one thing you have to remember. You can write them in the list form, and if you do this 2-3 times, you will learn this easily, very easy, right? This is, so I'm marking it, I'm leaving it to you, that you have to learn the prime numbers, all the prime numbers less than 100. More than 100 it's not needed. Less than 100 you have to know all the prime numbers, right? There's also a PYQ on this part which we'll see in the next video. Now, what is a co-prime? Co-prime number, in the question they can ask you in the exam, they will give you X and Y are co-prime numbers. So exactly you have to know what a co-prime is. See, a co-prime is if a pair of numbers are given to you, if they do not have any other common factor other than 1. If they do not have any other common factor other than 1, so we'll say those are co-prime. Let's see, 12 and 32, right? 12 and 32. What are the factors? Can we factorize it as in the form of 12 is 6 into 2. So 6 into 2 is 3 into 2 into 2. So it is 2 square into 3. I hope this is clear. And we can also write it as 1. Right? Now for 32, I can write it as 16 into 2, right? Then 16 into 2 is, what do you get? 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. So you will get 2 raised to power 5 into 1. So other than 1, they also have another common factor as 2. They have also a common factor of form 2. So we'll say these are not co-prime. Not co-prime. Why? Because other than 1, they have other common factors as well. So we'll say these numbers are not co-prime. And now coming to the 13 and 21. 13 is given to you, 21 is given to you. You can do common factorization 1 into 13. And 21 is 1 into 3 into 7. I hope this is clear. 1 into 13 and 1 into 3 into 7. Now you can check. 1 is a common? Yes. Is 13 common? 3 common or 7 common? No. So only 1 is common. So we'll say these are co-prime. Just you have to know the definition of co-prime. The co-prime numbers do not have any other common factor other than 1. Now moving on. Now this part might not be needed in exam. The question might come from this or not, but very easy thing. Suppose they ask you, is 123 a prime number? Right? If 123 is a prime number. See, one thing you can do is, you can write all the numbers between 1 to 122. 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 122, 123. So since prime number is divisible by 1 in itself, you have to check for all these numbers. If it is divisible by any of these, it will not be a prime number. But if it is not divisible by all of these, means it is only divisible by 1 and itself, it will be a prime number. Very long task, not required. So what the method says? Method says, whenever you are asked about a prime number, first thing, find a perfect square near it. Perfect square near 123, which is less than 123. Means you have to find a perfect square which is less than 123 and it's a perfect square. So you can start. 9 square is 81, 9 nines are 81, 10 tens are 100. Since they are less than it, but we have to find the closest one. 11 and 11s are, 11 into 11 is 121. 12 into 12 is 144. So which one will you pick? We'll pick 121, right? 121 is a prime perfect square which is less than 123 and it's closest to 123, right? 144 is not less than 3, so we'll not take this. I hope this is clear what we are trying to find. First step, you have to find a perfect square. Now, second step, for that 11, now use this 11, find all prime numbers which are less than or equal to 11. What are the prime numbers less than equal to 11? So 2, 3, 5, 7, not 9, 11. So if you want to see, this is the list: 2, 3, 5, 7 and 11. These are the 5 prime numbers. So now to check if 123 is a prime number, only check the divisibility by these 5 numbers. Is it easier than checking for 122 numbers, or you can check only for these 5 numbers? So is 123 divisible by 2? No. 123 divisible by 3? Yes. Remember that divisibility rule of 3? Sum of digit should not be divisible by 3. So sum of digits should be divisible by 3. So it is giving us 6, which is divided by 3. So this 123 is divisible by 3. So we can say that it is not a prime number. So what we did? We find a perfect square which was less than that number. Second, only that 11, we picked 11. We find all the prime numbers less than 11 or equal to 11. Then we check the divisibility with only those prime numbers. If it is yes, then we'll say this is not a prime number. If it was not divisible by any of the numbers, we'll say yes. Now, second thing, let's do this again. Finding if 233 is a perfect square. Find perfect square less than 233. 233. What is perfect square less than 233? Again, you have to know the perfect square of all the numbers from 1 to 20. That's all. Not more than that, but 1 to 20 you should know, because this makes the calculation very fast. 233, I know 15 into 15 is 225. So 15 is the number which I am looking for. If I do 16 into 16, that it makes it 256, not the number, because that will make it greater than 233. So 225 is the perfect square which is less than 15, which is less than 233. Now 15 is the number. Now write all the prime numbers which are less than equal to 15. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. Right? Now next step. Only you have to check divisibility by these numbers. Is 233 divisible by 2? No. 233 divisible by 3? No, because 3 plus 3 plus 2 will give us 8? No. 5 divisibility, how do we check? There should be a 5 or 0 in the end? No. 7. To check the divisibility of 7, you can either do that long method, or simply you can check 233 by 7. You will see it will give us 7 3 is 21, 1 3, 7 1 is 7 point something. So it is not divisible by 7 as well. For the divisibility of 11, you can do bunny hops. So here if you do a bunny hop, 3 plus 2, 5. 5 minus 3 is 5 minus 3 will give us 2, which is not divisible by 11. So 11 is also gone. You can check divisibility by 13 and you will find it is not divisible by 13. So it is not divisible by any of these prime numbers. So we'll say yes, 233 is a prime number. I hope it is clear. Now moving on. Before this, let's do a quick revision. Prime number is a number which is only divisible by 1 and itself and nothing else, right? So this is how we find that 13 is a prime number. Second thing, you have to know all the prime numbers less than 100, right, for the exam. Very important. Third thing, co-prime numbers. Co-prime numbers are those numbers where the common factor is only 1 and nothing else. If there is anything else than other than 1, it will not be a co-prime. Fourth, testing number is a prime number. See, don't fret upon it. Don't invest a lot of time on it. Only in the exam, if they are not going to ask you which all of these options are prime numbers, right? Even if they ask you, you know this method, right? And since it takes a lot of time, they can only ask you about any number around 500 or less than 500. Less than those numbers, you can do by this method, if given, right? Now moving on. Property of a prime number. See, first thing, whenever they ask you if the number is a prime number, I will say step 1, check this thing. Check this property which we are going to read in this video. And second thing, step 1, check this property. If you find that it is not a prime number from this method only, then stop there and only. But if you are not able to find it is a prime number, then move to step 2, which was what we did in the last slide. Last slide method, remember? The last slide method is this method by using the perfect square method. But only move to step 2 if you are sure that step 1 we are not able to check if it is a prime number from step 1. What is this property? See, if I write it as 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 19 20, right? Now what are the prime numbers? 2 3 5 7 2 3 5 7 11 13, then again 17 19 and all, right? Now it says other than 2 and 3. 2 and 3 is the exception. All the other prime numbers are either 1 less than multiple of 6 or 1 greater than multiple of 6. So I will see, first thing I will see multiple of 6. Multiple of 6 is 6, 12 and 18. All the prime numbers will either be 1 less or 1 more. 1 less one more, one less or one more, these can never be prime numbers. These can never be prime numbers, right? By this property, you know that if there is a multiple of 6, if there is a multiple of 6, then if it is a prime number, then it would be one less or one more, otherwise it's not a prime number. Suppose if you know 36, there will be one number less, one number more, so 35 and 37, these two could be prime, could be, still they are not confirmed, could be prime, right? 36, 37, then I will write 42 here. Suppose 38, 39, 40, then 41 and 43. For one thing for sure, these numbers will never be prime, right? Why? Because they are not one less than 36 or one greater than 36, right? They are in between. So only 35 could be a prime number, 37, 41 and 43. Now, if you are able to see that these numbers are one of these, then move to step 2, which we did in the last slide. Otherwise, if these are of the one of these 38, 39, 40, just stop it there, because they can never be prime number. You don't have to go to even step 2 to check it. But if it is 35, since 35 could be a prime number, but 35 is not a prime number, how do we know? We will check it by step 2, right? Now, just to simplify, suppose 123. Remember we did it, checked in last step 123. Now, if someone says you 123, one method is you'll write 120, 126. These are the multiple of 6, 120 and 126, 119, 121, 122, 123, 124, 125, 126 and 127. What all prime numbers could be? 119 could be a prime number, 121 could be a prime number because it is one less or one greater than multiple of 6. 125 could be a prime number, 127 could be a prime number because they are one less or one greater than 6. But these numbers can never be prime numbers, right? These numbers can never be prime numbers. And also these numbers can also not be a prime number. They can only be one less than a multiple of 6 or one greater than a multiple of 6, right? Now, is 123 one of these number? 119, 121, 125 or 127? No. So it's simply not a prime number, right? I hope it is clear. Now checking for 233. I know 233, then I know 234 is a multiple of 6 and I know 228 is a multiple of 6, right? I know 228 is a multiple of 6, 234 is a multiple of 6. You write 227, 229, 230, 231, 232, 233, 234, 235, right? Now, I told you prime number could be these or these or 233 or 235, but not these, right? But 233 is one of these number which could be prime. You have to check it by the step 2. Right? Now we know 233 is one could be a prime number. To check 233 is a prime number, you move to this method. I hope this is clear. That first check with this method. For 123 we can stop it here only because it could never be a prime number. But 233 could be a prime number. You move to step number 2. I hope this is clear. Now moving on. Let's understand what a highest common factor is. Now, they will give you two numbers and they will ask you what is the highest common factors of these numbers, right? Now, if you check 12 and 15 are two numbers, they are going to ask you what is the highest common factors. What are the factors of 12? If you do by the prime factorization method, you will check 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 12. I hope you understand these are the factors of 12. Means 12 could be divisible by these numbers. And what are the factors of 15? 1, 3, 5, 15. I hope this is clear. These are the factors. Now, there is one factor, there is another factor. Now, they ask you what is the highest common factors. First, mark all the common factors. 1 is a common factor. 3 is a common factor, 5 is not a common factor, 15 is not a common factor. Only common factors are 1 and 3. 1 and 3. Which is the highest of these two? 3. So answer is HCF of 12 and 15 is 3. 3 is the HCF. I hope this is clear. Now moving on. What is the LCM? Common multiple. See, understand the difference. This is the factor, this is the multiple. So when they are asking you multiple, you have to do multiple of these numbers. So suppose 12 and 15 are two numbers. What is a multiple? Multiple is all these numbers which are divisible by 12, and factor is all those numbers which divide 12. So 12 is divided by which all numbers are common factor, are common or factors. But if this number is given to you and it is divisible by 12, we say x is a multiple of 12. What are a multiple of 12? 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 72, 84, then so on, 120, 144, and so these are the multiples of 12. I hope what you understand the difference. So these all numbers are divisible by 12. Factors are the number which divide 12. Right? 15, multiple of 15 will be 15, 30, 45, 60, 90, then again 100, then 90, 105, and then 120, and so on. Right? Now, what are the common multiple? 60 is a common multiple, 120 is a common multiple, and so on. Now, they are asking you what is the lowest common multiple? Lowest. So, lowest common multiple will be 60. So, 60 is the LCM of 12 and 15. Right? I hope HCF and LCM are clear. You can rewind the video, re-watch the video, then you will understand. Right? Now, how to find the HCF, highest common factors of 72 and 288. See, one thing is, like, you can do it like the other method which we did, all the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on by such a method, right? Easier method would be for 72, do the prime factorization. How did we do the prime factorization? You can write it as 8 times 72. 8 is 2 into 2 into 2 into 3 into 3. So this is coming out to be 1 into 2 raised to power 3 into 3 raised to power 2. I hope this is clear. For 288, I can do it like 2 into 144. I can do it like 2 into 12 into 12. And I can do it like 2 into 3 4s. So 2 into 2 into 3 into 2 into 2 into 3. So if you write it 1 into 2 raised to power 5 and 3 square. So these are the prime factorization. These are the factorization of 72 and 288. Now, in case of HCF, highest common factor, what we are going to do? We are going to write the lowest power of all the prime numbers. Right? Now, what all prime numbers are there? We have 2, we have 3. If you check, this is 2 given, 2 and 3 are given. Right? Now, if you write it 72 and 288 here, make a table. Right? Now, what is the power of 2 here? 3. What is the power of 2 here? 5. What is power of 3? 2. What is power of 3 here? 2. Right? Now, next step is take the lowest one. 3 is the lowest one. So 3 will come here. 2 is the lowest one. Either you can take either. 2 is the lowest one. So your answer will be, HCF will be, highest common factor will be 2 raised to power 3 into 3 raised to power square. So this will give, if you calculate this, so 72 is the answer. So 72 is also the HCF of 72 and 288. I hope this is clear. Write all the powers, take the lowest power, and then you will find the answer. Right? Now coming back, 72 and 288. I will just copy it from the last slide. 1 into 2 raised to power 3 into 3 raised to power square, 1 into 2 raised to power 5 into 3 square. This is given to you, right? Now, if you want to find out what is the LCM of these three, again make a table. 2, 3, 72, 72, 288. Now, what is the power of 2 and 3 here? Power of 2 is 3, power of 3 is 2, power of 288 5 and 2. In case of LCM, take the highest power. Take the in case of 2 and 2 we can take 2. So your LCM will be 2 raised to power 5 into 3 square. This will be 288. So the LCM is 288. I hope this is clear. 288 and 2 raised to power 5. Now I will just remove this part, this much. For the better clarification, let's take another thing. Let's add 25 here as well. So three numbers are given: 72, 288 and 25. They're asking you what is the HCF and LCM of these three numbers: 72, 25 and 288. I will add 25 here, though this will give me 1 into 5 square. I hope this is clear. Now we have to make a table. Make a table here. Write all the prime number 2, 3, 5, whichever they are coming there, right? And in case of 72, 288 and 25. Now, what is the power of 2 in case of 72? 3, 288, 5. In case of 25, 0. Again, next is, what is the power of 2? 2, 0. What is the power of 5? 0, 0, 2. I hope this is clear. Now, to find the HCF, I told you, find the lowest power. So what is the lowest power of 2? 0. In 3, 5 or 0, what is the lowest power? 0. In case of 3, what is the lowest power? 2, 2 and 0. The lowest power will be again 0. What is the lowest power of 5? Either 0 or 2, 0. So your answer is HCF is 1. I hope this is clear. Now coming back to LCM, lowest common multiple, right? So in lowest common multiple, we write what is the power of 2, which is the highest? 2 raised to power 5. What is the highest power of 3? 2. What is the highest power of 5? 2. So 2 raised to power 5 into 3 raised square into 5 square is the answer. I hope this is clear. Now moving on. In case of fractions, if a fraction is given to you, if you have to find the HCF of two fractions, how can you do that? In case of HCF, take the HCF of the numerator and LCM of the denominator and divide them. In case of LCM, here we have LCM of numerator and HCF of denominator. I hope this is clear. We'll do a question on this, then it will be more clear. Now, they have given you three numbers: 4 by 11, 3 by 5, 6 by 5. Right? Now, these three numbers are given to you. I will just, again, for the simplification, 4 is 1 into 2 square. Just to do you a quick review, 1 into 3 raised to power 1 and 6 is 1 into 2 into 3. Now, so for these number, make a table. 2, 3 and 4, 3, 6 will come here. What is the power of 2? What is the power of 2 in case of 4? Square. 3, 0, 6, 1. In case of 3, 1. Sorry, in case of 3, it will be 0, 1, 1. Right? Now, HCF for these numbers will be 2 and 3. 2 power will be lowest. Lowest is 0. So 2 raised to power 0. In case of 3, lowest is 0. So the raised to power is 0. So the HCF of these numbers is 1. LCM will be highest power of 2, which is 2, and the lowest power or highest power of 3, which is 1. So 2 square, 4, 4 3 are 12. I hope this is clear. HCF and LCM you are getting is 1 and 12. Now for 11, 5 and 5 you can do on your own. You will find HCF as 1 and LCM as 55. You can check it on your own by the prime factorization method and you will find HCF as 1 and LCM as 55. Now, in case of HCF, so what we have done here, we have calculated HCF of numerator separately and LCM of denominator separately. Now, in case of HCF, you do HCF of numerator divided by LCM of denominator. So HCF of numerator means 4, 3 and 6 is 1. We have calculated on here. And the LCM of denominator means 11, 5 and 55 will be 55. So 1 by 55 is the HCF. But in case of LCM, LCM of numerator divided by HCF of denominator. HCF of numerator means HCF 4, 3, 6 is 12. So 12. HCF of denominator means 11, 5 and 5 will be 1. So the answer is 12. I hope this is clear. There is a PYQ on this as well. If you are not able to understand this, you can post your doubts in the comments. Otherwise, you can rewatch the video. This is very easy. You just have to calculate the HCF and LCM of the numerator and denominator separately. I hope this completes your and clears your doubt for the prime numbers and HCF LCM. And once you will do PYQs in the next video, you will understand these concepts even better. So for the next video, download this PDF from the channel. Try to solve those questions on your own first, and then only watch the solution. That would be way beneficial for you other than just watching the video. Thank you for now.